Hello everyone, my name is Michael SK and welcome back to Aoi Tori, where we are in Sayo's route and Ritsu's powers are just evolving by the day, it seems. It's as if he can just snap his fingers, or think about snapping his fingers, and anything can happen. Teleportation, getting items and such as he pleases, just teleported to him, or will just poof into existence. And it's scary. This evolution of his power, you know? It's way too quick. It's just happening in the blink of an eye. And Sayo's involvement in his life recently has been probably the huge factor here, the catalyst, if you will. So that's very scary when you're thinking about, you know, him and not wanting him to lose his humanity and such. The next day, I find myself groaning. I've had a lot on my mind since yesterday.
どうしたの、リツくん。朝ごはん美味しくなかった？
Mary, who's once again walking to school with us, peers into my face. Oh, now your cooking was as great as always.
あ、君。じゃあ、欲求不満？
What? Okay, well, Sayo is Sayo, as per usual. Come on, why do you always act like I'm horny 24/7, Sayo? Why would she assume I'm sexually frustrated after everything that went on yesterday? I mean, I am, but only a little. That aside, though, at least he's honest. It's a personal thing. You don't worry about it, you two. Or so don't worry about it, you two. I smile at them. Sensing from my attitude that it's no big deal, the two girls start talking between themselves.
なんだろうね。お腹痛いのかな？うちのお兄ちゃんがいやらしいことを考えていない時間なんてない。
Well, I don't know about all that. Right, well, putting their conversation aside too, what is bothering me? I mean, I can probably think of it. In truth, it's really nothing all that important. It is about Sayo, though. I guess I'm wrong. Yesterday was not like the first day we met. We knew full well what relation we had to each other, and even professed our love at the end of it. Honestly, the whole thing was wonderful. I've never had a better night's sleep than last night. I wish I could relate. Goddamn, am I fucking tired. But it was when I woke up that I started thinking about it. What is my relationship to Sayo now? Is she my girlfriend while also being my sister? I hope that's how we stand, but I never did tell her explicitly how I feel. I muttered to myself, staring up at the sky. I also just randomly talk while I, stare upward, but I need to talk to Sayo after class and work out how we both feel. And if we are in a relationship, I need to find out if I can still sleep with other girls. Probably not. No, that's something I need to decide to stop myself. If Sayo is going to be my girlfriend, then I need to do things right. I thought to myself in the past that if I were to end up in a relationship with someone, I should stop sleeping around. I can do as Akari suggested and help people as a priest without resorting to using my powers. The vague worries inside me have finally taken shape.
ほら見なさい。あのにやけた顔はいやらしいことを考えてる顔よ。
They're really just looking at us, staring straight up at the sky and mumbling to ourselves. My darling sister says ruling, sticking her finger into my face. Sayo, I'm starting to get mad now.
怒るの？お兄ちゃん。
Don't word it like that. Don't take that tone with me just so I'll get you off. Or let you off, not get you off. No. Oh, I know you're joking, but it actually hurts when you treat me like a stranger.
お兄ちゃんは妹には勝てないからね。
Now even Mary is laughing at me.
それよりメアリー、私とリツ、こんな感じでだいぶ兄弟らしくなったんじゃない？そうだね。私もそう思ったから、また一緒に登校することにしたんだけどね。私たちが仲良くなってるのに気づいたなら、そこは気を利かせて、もうしばらく二人きりでイチャイチャさせなさいよ。
No, things should go back to normal.
私寂しいじゃん。私もイチャイチャしたい。
Mary doesn't get what kind of fun Sayo is talking about, but I'm getting aroused. Okay. Maybe one day the three of us... No, don't. For some reason, I find myself picturing Akari, too.
それより、そっちの台本の方はどうなの？
Man, he is frustrated.
あとは見直しくらいかな。だいたい完成したから、 学園でコピー取って一度みんなに配るよ。
I'm looking forward to seeing it. What kind of ending did you decide on?
あかりちゃんに相談したけど、ちょっとほろ苦い感じにしました。私の好みでもあるわね。
Sayo grins.
お兄ちゃん、心中でもする？
Don't jinx us. Wait, that's not how it actually ends, is it?
それはないない。
Though I do have a feeling that that was some sort of bad foreshadowing. Mary smiles wryly and waves her hand around.
台本を読む以前に説明しちゃった方が早いかな。雪の降る夜にリツくんが演じる男の子が屋敷にやってくるんだけど、途中の事故で記憶喪失になってたっての。それで兄弟だと知らずに仲良くなると。そうそう。
Mary nods. Now comes the brand new stuff.
でね、二人ともそれぞれもしかしたら相手が実の兄弟なんじゃって気づき出しちゃうの。
The very obvious signs will come up.
相手のことが異性として好きなんだけど、もしかしたら禁断の関係なんじゃないかって葛藤が生まれる。
I will admit, it's very brave for them to go for a play that is essentially of an incestual relationship. Like, I know these sort of things have come up, this sort of plot before, I'm pretty sure, but that doesn't make them all the better. Sayo mumbles to herself. I shoot her a quick sidelong glance. As far as I can tell, she isn't shirking at the mention of romance between siblings. I was going to say shrinking originally, but we may look alike, and we may feel like siblings at this point, but we have spent most of our lives not even knowing the other existed.
それで兄弟だってお互いに気づくんだけど、お互いに言えないわけね。そうそう。あの屋敷の別々の場所でそれぞれが苦悩する姿を描くわけ。もう見ている方は劇だと分かっててもやきもきしちゃうでしょ。陰険ね。
You shouldn't look so happy when you say that.
リツもニヤついてるわよ。
Oops.
王道だけどニヤついちゃうよね。ちなみに責任を押し付けるわけじゃないけど、これはあかりちゃんのアイデア。あの子、淫乱で陰険なのね。私のタイプだわ。
What a way with words you have. I stopped myself from agreeing.
で、最後はお互いが兄弟だと語り合い、礼拝堂で銃を向け合うのね。かっこいい。でも違うから、
That
そ
would
れ
be
がラス
sick,
トシーンでも
actually.
いいかなとか思っちゃったけど、なんか別の路線だから。じゃあ、あの屋敷を燃やすのね。館物の定番。
Okay, I'll bite. How do you plan on acting out that our house is on fire, Sayo?
棒の先に布を巻いて、それを灯油とか油に浸して火をつけるだけ。それ松明の作り方だから。私はリアリティを追求するタイプなの。追求しちゃダメだよ。あそこ私の家でもあるんだから。さよちゃんどうしちゃったの？
Leave it, Mary. Sayo's in a good mood today.
もちろん私も分かってるけどね。本当に燃やしたって家の1軒や2軒、リツの奇跡の力でなんとかなるでしょ。
If he's still human by then. Don't be absurd. I'm not even sure how I'd set about using my powers to rebuild a house burned to the ground. Just then my phone begins vibrating in my pocket. Oh boy. I can't wait to talk to the devil, because that's who it is. Shut up, devil. I don't need my morning to get any more chaotic. So as we were saying... Wait, what were we saying again?
あかりが卑猥で陰険って話でしょ。
Well, yeah.
劇のオチだよ。まあ、実の兄弟だとお互いに知ってしまった二人なんだけど、
Oh, a sad
最
ending.
終的にお兄さんが屋敷を去ってしまっておしまい。
Huh, that is a sad ending. That's what I just
で
said.
しょ。でもそういうの好きな子はやっぱり多いと思うよ。
Yeah. If this is what Mary wants, then I'm fine with it.
さよちゃんも嫌いじゃないでしょ。そうね。安易なハッピーエンドよりはいいけど、妹の方に親が残した借金があってヤクザに買われることになってたんだけど、お兄さんが
Why do you
刀を
want
持っ
this
て
to be more
米を
shonen than it
殴り込み
has to
に行く
be?
とかじゃダメなの？ それ人形だから。さゆちゃん芸風広いね。あとヤクザとか誰が演じるの？リサ先生。何それ、すっごく見たい。
Hey, you two, we're almost on the main road, so calm down, please.
はーい。勉強とかめんどくさい。
The two of them give replies from opposite extremes. At least I assume that was a reply from Sayo. At any rate, I put on my priestly face and get ready to face the day. I guess that's something he always has to do, but this is something that I actually predicted in the previous episode, and it's something I've been thinking about for a while as well. I really do not think that Sayo and Ritsu are brother and sister. I do think that they have, you know, very similar lives, their powers being pretty equivalent in a, you know, very big way here, and also their appearance, but also their upbringing, you know? They've lived a life of loneliness in different aspects, but pretty damn similar, I would argue. So that does beg the question, are we really, you know, in an incest route or not? Because we all saw it coming from a mile away once we met Sayo, but it does really beg that question. Is that where we're currently at? Do we have to, you know, constantly ask these morality type questions? We arrive at the school building in one piece. It's real. Right at the entrance, we bump into Akari. You don't have to do that here. You really do not need to do that bit here. Mary and I both immediately cover Akari's mouth. Her eyes shoot wide open, having no idea that we're doing this, or why we're doing this. We've garnered the attention of the students nearby, but as luck would have it, the morning bustle obstructed anyone outside of the immediate vicinity from hearing Akari's greeting.
Ohayo, Akari.
Sayo greets her like nothing is happening. Take your hand away and calm down, Mary. Yes, and they're very soft, thank you, but let's drop that for now. Akari sighs loudly as she's freed from our hands. What's gotten into us? What's gotten into you? It was how you greeted us. Morning, by the way. Akari gives us a blank look for a moment, before a look of realization comes over her face. She called us master and mistress. That's a very dangerous thing to say around me in public. She's dedicated. I thought it was just the fucking maid bit, but no, she's getting into the role. Akari giggles in embarrassment. It's adorable. She's trying to smooth things over, I imagine. It's what makes Sayo Sayo. Sayo puffs up her chest, her face the very definition of smug. Mary made a very wise decision, I think. It's a shame that practice is going to eat into the time I have to spend with Sayo, though. It'll be fine. Oh, that's perfect then. Oh, I'm all nervous all of a sudden, so I'm glad I have a day to psych myself up. Thanks. The two model students chat to each other as they walk off, which finally gives me a chance to talk to Sayo. Hey Sayo, could you make some time for me after class today? This evening works too. We're not doing that. Please. That's not why I asked. I wish it was, but there's a process to go through here. Or after dinner, if you'd like to go through Mary's script first.
夜。
Cool. We can go on a walk together.
リツは野外が好きなのね。
He does. Sayo grins before following the other girls. What am I meant to do with her? I shrug my shoulders, knowing that I really shouldn't be surprised at this point, and decide to start acting like a model student myself. We got this. Priestly and all, you know? Whatever all that means, obviously. But damn. You know, I just keep thinking about this, but shoot, I don't even know her name. The teacher, the substitute teacher. We have seen so little of her that I don't even remember her name, which actually backs up my point here. I know they just talked about her, but yeah, it's weird how little of impact that she has had in both of these routes. This one especially so far. She was somewhat there in Mary's route, no? I'm pretty sure she was helping out with the rehearsals, so I think maybe now she'll pop up. But it's so disappointing that, like, you know, we met her, and, you know, then we get the choices for routes. It's like, why would we even choose her first? Like, I guess if you really dig her appearance, then sure, but, or if you're really curious about what went down all those years ago, but there's just nothing to her character so far, and it's kind of sad. The morning remains uneventful. I don't know why I'm thinking about all that, but you know, might as well throw that out there. However, someone calls over to me at lunchtime. And there she is. There she is. Okay. It's the latter half of our break when Risa, okay, so that is her name, Risa pokes her head in through the doorway and calls for me. Coming. She's acting more like a student here than a teacher, but I pay it no mind and head into the corridor. It's fine. It's the youth. What's going on?
大したことじゃないんだけど、早めの方がいいと思って。
She hands me a sheet of paper. It appears to be a class register.
それが今年の冬休みに帰省しない
The
で。
fuck? We didn't get this in the other route.
リストだって。
Oh, thank you.
私も残るから監督官としてもらったけど、そんなの作ってたのね。
I find myself smiling at how interested Risa is in all of this. You wouldn't know about it unless you applied to stay over the break yourself. They need to have a list of everyone who's here in case of an emergency. Also, they move girls who can't cook themselves into other dorms temporarily. It would be impossible to find them without a list.
教師の私が言うと変だけど、
We've been here a while, you
この
know.
学園もしっかりしてるんだね。
We know the ins and outs a little bit. This is a yearly occurrence for me, so I'm able to quickly scan the document. Approximately 20 students will be here over the break, excluding our group. Considering how this birdcage of an academy has a total student population of 300, a relatively large proportion is staying behind. It's not the word I would use, but you still didn't have to go out of your way to give this to me at lunch, though. I say apologetically, but Risa smiles.
それ早めにあった方がいいでしょ。
You did?
だってその子たちが劇の観客になるんだろうから。
Oh, right. Now I understand. Thought we knew that internally, but I've been focused solely on the performance side, but naturally we'll have to get students to come and watch it too. We did need this as soon as possible after all. I hadn't thought that far ahead, thank you.
私こそ楽しみで仕方ないから。
That reminds me, Mary says the script is more or less done.
メアリーさんからメールをもらってる。
I'm not sure when they swap numbers, but I'm not surprised either.
それで普通ならチラシとか作るんだろうけど、このくらいの人数なら私から声をかけちゃってもいいかな。
Yeah, might as well. Would you really do that?
まだ冬休みまでにどのクラスにも授業で顔を出すから。
Then that would be great, thank you. I find myself being very polite because we're at school, but I truly am grateful.
任せて。というか、お客さんを集めることについては、もともとはどうしようと思ってたの？
I'm pretty sure that wasn't thought of whatsoever. By sending out Mary, she'd probably manage somehow.
それはなんとかなっちゃうわね。
Risa agrees in exasperated amazement.
むしろそれしかないとも言う。
She's quite right. Sending Sayo, Akari, or myself out to talk to people would have ended in disaster.
いやいや、それにしても本当に具体的になってきたね。
You're excited about this.
わかる？
She giggles in a very unteacherly way, but it's adorable and friendly, so I wouldn't have her any other way.
それじゃあ冬休みの学園居残りはリツくんの方が先輩だからよろしくお願いします。
Of course I will. We both bow politely.
じゃあ私は職員室に戻るから。
Risa leaves with a quick wave of her hand. We sure are asking a lot of our teacher. I don't get to see her in private much, or at all, so I haven't had a chance to repay her for everything that she's doing for us. Though that's not necessarily a bad thing, since I'm a priest who can no longer rely on his miracle powers.
ねえねえ。
Hey, yo. That's the sister. I suddenly feel something pressing up against my back, which makes me jump. In the blink of an eye, Mikako ends up in front of me instead.
りっくん、今何したの？
Like we did like one of those cartoon yelps and jump up into the air and do like a 360 or some shit. Or I guess in this case, maybe a 180. I unconsciously wished that she'd get off my back, and lo and behold, it happened. It was judo.
へえ、地殻外で何かされたのなんて生まれて初めての経験だね。
Yeah, better not to ask about it further. Mikako being a bit of a weirdo with a large but incomplete collection of knowledge makes her easy to deceive. So what did you want?
お姉ちゃんが来てたけど何の用だったんだろうって。
Oh, she just came to give me this list of students who are staying here over winter break. I show Mikako the sheet of paper as I explain.
へえ、こういうリストがあるとは思ったけど、こんなにたくさんの人が残るんだ。
Well, riddle me this, audience members. If you went to a private school of some sort up in the mountains or whatever, a little bit, located, privately, let's say, as this setting is, yeah, sure, you can go home, you can visit your family and all that, but, would there be a case where you would decide, no, it would just be better for me to stay here over the break? Whether it's winter break, summer break, spring break, whatever. Is it worth the trouble? Are you on good terms with your family? Maybe you just want to stay here or whatever. Or there's just not going to be a lot going on because your family doesn't really celebrate the holidays or whatever. Maybe you're happier here, Independence. I hear the Akasabi household is throwing a New Year's Day party. And that was me referring to your family, not you by your surname.
承知してる。パーティーは私はドレス着せられて黙って立ってるだけでいいって言われるんだ。
Silently being the important point, I'm guessing.
子供の頃に普通に話していたら周りの大人がドン引きしてたよ。
Yeah, we don't know too much about this character, but I'm sure we can all completely understand. I can see it.
でもお姉ちゃんが演劇をそんなに楽しみにしてるなら私も帰省しないで見に行こうかな。
Well, if it won't be a problem with your family, I'd love for you to come as my friend.
さよちゃんと付き合うことにしたの？
Huh? Mikako's tone doesn't change despite the sudden change in topic, the contents of which take me completely by surprise.
ああ、これからなんだ。そう、じゃあ頑張って。
She claps me on the back.
りっくんと夜の遊びがしづらくなるな。
Well, yeah, funny part there. With that rather terrifying remark, she heads back into our classroom. I'm left speechless. I'm not sure which slight action she figured it out from. Don't tell me there's a chance Mary figured it out first. No, that's impossible. I rub my cheeks, regain my priestly visage, and return to the classroom. Just as I'm not blushing, I'll be fine. I think a fly... There's no way there's a fly in my room, but I saw something fly around here. Off in the corner of my vision. The rest of the afternoon passes peacefully. It's now after class. I got one of the script copies from Mary. It's still not complete, as she was quick to point out, and immediately headed home. I wanted to do a read-through with Akari and Risa around, but Mary said...
帰れ！私の前で読むとか恥ずかしいからみんな帰って一人ずつで読め！
Yeah, that's in character. Good old Mary. It was awfully cute. And that's why Mary isn't with Sayo and me. She's off killing time somewhere else, apparently.
みんな で読めばあの女を恥ずかしめるチャンスだったのにね。
Yeah, wait, no. I agree without really thinking, only to have to correct myself when I realize what I've done. You want to make some tea and read through the script together in the lounge?
ああ、いいわ。一人で読めってことだし、じっくり。
Yeah, fair enough. Her tone is jesting, but in truth, she's sincere. I find myself smiling at this rather pleasant side of my sister.
できるだけねっとりたっぷり演じてあげる方がメアリーも恥ずかしさでもだえるでしょ。
Yeah, among other things. I mean, if that means acting well, then I guess that's a good thing. Is it a good thing? I don't know.
ちなみに台本を読みながらベッドで寝てるかもだから、夕飯とか用があるなら起こして。
Are you tired? Not feeling well?
風邪じゃないと思うんだけど、なんだか最近だるさが抜けないの
That's
よ
me
ね。
every day. Don't push yourself, okay? The rough sex that we had in the classroom yesterday is probably partially to blame, so I feel guilty. Come to think of it, she got tired after we hung out by the abandoned station too. Then
お兄ちゃんはすぐ困り顔になるわね。
she prods at my forehead. I am?
そうよ。あんまりそういう顔してると襲うわよ。
Yeah, go for it, I guess, because I'd enjoy that, I think to myself. Perhaps I'm just another sinner after all. We all are. We all are. There's no way around it. We continue chatting until the resident comes into view. Yeah, it's not a fly that's in here. I'm pretty sure it's a mosquito. Those little bitches like to come in here and, try to kill me. I part from Sayo, change out of my uniform, and head to the chapel. After a simple prayer, I take a seat and start reading the script. The basic story is exactly as Mary laid out for us. I decided to skim through it all before really reading it in detail. The first page of my copy is schedule, to help us navigate around the play. Since there will be multiple scenes happening at the same time in different rooms of the residence, I think that's supposed to say is the schedule. It's all well made, split into 10-minute time slots with the headings who, when, and where. All we have to do is make sure that we're in the right place at the right time. It must have been hard for Mary to make it. Sorry, the fucking background is making it hard to read this. It almost seems like it would be fun to make. Only I know my mind would end up as one big jumbled mess by the end of it. Her personality makes it too easy to forget, but Mary's both talented and diligent. Now it's time to see what's in store for me. The less important scenes have equally less detailed instructions, with the participants just being instructed to chat about a topic to fill their 10-minute time slot. However, Sayo and I, being the main characters, have lines in practically every scene that we'll need to memorize word for word. The plot follows the outline Mary set out for us this morning. It's very typical. It's set in modern-day Japan and very much focused on typical life, so none of the lines are so outlandish as for me to have trouble learning them. It sure is going to be embarrassing to say out loud, whoa, we have to act out a kiss scene too.
何何?
Ah, shit.
温室で花を抱えて笑うお嬢様と目が合い、二人は不意に無言になり、少し間を置いて顔を近づける。
Ah, I see the devil's also reading the script.
キスだけか! 押し倒せ! 花を散らしてしまえ!
You're here, huh?
僕も参加するんですから、ご主人様と一緒に台本を見せてくださいよ。
Is the devil still helping out with the special effects or whatever? Fair enough, although I'm not sure how you can see anything through my cell phone. That's a head scratcher. Wait, since when have you been able to contact me while I'm inside the chapel? The devil's always sticking its nose into my business. I was under the assumption that I could at least get some respite here.
今までは無理でしたよ。ここは結界の中の結界みたいな場所でしたしね。
So how come you can do it now?
そりゃ、ご主人様のエターナルダークパワーが増
That's
し
what
た
I
頃
was
ですよ。
thinking. I mean, it makes sense. Great. I facepalm, knowing I have no one to blame but myself.
最近、妹に甘えられて、鼻の下とチンコを伸ばしながら力を受け入れたようですが、調子はどうですか?
That's really one interesting way of describing that. Not bad, but that last bit was unnecessary, wasn't it?
やることやっておいて、今更何をおっしゃいます?
Okay, fair enough. I'm not in the habit of protesting the truth, so I opt not to continue yelling at the devil.
結構英雄色を好むとも言いますからな。二重の意味で千人斬りもよろしいかと。
We were talking about the play.
まあいい意味で基本に忠実という内容ですし、台本の読み込みはそれほど必要ないのでは。むしろ素人劇ならいかに自然に振る舞えるかの方が重要かと。
Huh. I get the feeling the devil knows what it's talking about here. Actually, it feels like it'll be rather easy. Outside of a few scenes and lines, we'll all essentially be playing ourselves.
よく観察されています。
I mean, Mary even said that this morning in regards to Sayo. Just be yourself. I already knew Sayo and I were playing the leads, but Mary's cast herself as Sayo's older sister, Hikari as the maid, Risa as their private tutor, and Yuki as their neighborhood friend. Yeah, you guys remember Yuki?
あの吸血鬼の小娘はポンコツな割に優秀ですな。
God damn it, let me get a drink. Just admit she's cute.
あざといですな。
God damn, yeah, the game does not want me to take a drink. So what? I almost say, but decide that might be going too far and just keep it to myself.
まあ黒崎さよがベースになっているせいでお嬢様の役が多少えぐるようにアグレッシブな言動ですが。
That's a good thing. It'll make the play more memorable. On that note, Akari's personality is also very fitting for her part as the maid.
そうなのですよね。もう少し上から目線の批評家よろしく減点方式の点数制で腹探しをしてやりたかったものです。
That sounds like the absolute worst way to judge someone's work.
地獄では0点を下回らなければ絶賛のいきなり。
You guys are scathing. Dumbstruck, I shut my script. I'll have plenty more time to go over it. Don't procrastinate now. Since you're participating, is there anything in your expert opinion that you'd like me to pass on to Mary? I ask, only prepared to do it if the devil actually says something useful.
はあ、いやまあなくもないですが、ご主人様も劇についてはそれほど気張る必要はないかと。
Yeah, why? Yeah. There's no motivation in the devil's voice, and there's definitely something wrong with what it just said. Why would it say this after how insistent it was on participating?
僕の個人的な楽しみとは別に、不慮の事態で劇が中止になるかもしれませんしね。
What? Excuse me? I shut my eyes, even more suspicious now. Are you planning on doing something that'll cancel the play?
まさかそんな、僕はそんなことしませんよ。
Or what about us? Do you swear it?
知らない人と安易に約束するなと言いますが、
What are you to me again?
運命の相手にございます。
Never refer to yourself like that again. And more importantly, don't interfere with the play. That's an order.
わかりました。僕は劇が中止になるような邪魔はしません。約束します。
That does beg the question, though. Who will? What will? Good. Something about the devil's very precise wording bothers me, but I do get the impression it won't interfere.
ところで、ご主人様はバニシングツインという言葉を知っておりますか？
No, but that's a very, very specific fucking term. No, what's that?
消える双子。
Okay. It doesn't sound positive, so I'm instantly on guard.
いえ、リツ様と黒崎さよのことを考えていてふと思い出したちょっとした小話ですよ。バニシングツインとは噛み砕くと妊娠初期に双子だったはずがいつの間にか一人が消えてしまっているという医学用語です。
Okay. Disappears how exactly?
母体の子宮やもう一人の胎児に吸収されるなど、まあ諸説あります。
Yeah, I think I've heard well, I don't know what I've heard. I don't know what I know. I mean, whenever you have two kids, growing in there, there's a lot that can go wrong, during development. You don't really know. And I mean, it's not too, in my mind, it's probably not too crazy to think that one could be quite literally absorbed into the other, One can be a little bit more dominant than the other.
古来より発生していましたが、人のような医学が進歩して妊娠が早期に確認されやすくなったために知られてきた事柄ですな。
It must be sad for the parents. I make a prayer for their souls as I think to myself. If this only occurs during pregnancy, it has little to do with Sayo and me. Perhaps the devil only brought it up simply because I'm a twin. No. No. I wonder. So how is it that one of the twins disappears?
意味と理論のどちらを尋ねていらっしゃるか知りませんが、どちらも人の断りでは知られておりません。
So I'm questioning the existence of Sayo a little bit more here all of a
どちら
sudden.
にせよ、生命のシステムを考えれば異常とまでは言えないでしょう。
Oh?
子孫を残す際、それが単一では不測の事態に備えることができません。二つを作り、より優れた一つを残すと考えれば、悪魔に尋ねずとも不思議とまでは言わないでしょう。
Yeah, okay. It was initially focused on the emotional aspect of it, but it makes sense when you consider it to be a part of your biological system. Intelligent creatures tend to have fewer offspring at one time, while bugs and fish lay eggs in the hundreds of thousands. Perhaps people will even snip buds and branches off of plants to make their produce greater. Us humans typically give birth one at a time, the absolute minimum amount. Perhaps we've simply evolved too far.
妊娠中の双子に限らず、天使の分け前、悪魔の取り分などの言葉もあります。
Nope. Doesn't that refer to the alcohol that evaporates and gets absorbed into the cask while maturing?
7つまでは神のうち。でもよろしいですが？
That's an old Japanese thing, right? The death rate for kids under 7 was really high, in part because infanticide, whatever, was an accepted means of population control. Wait. Killing infants? Is that what that is? And so parents couldn't be blamed for the death of their children when they were young? Like, or kids were just dying. Is that what that is? I mean, suicide, kill yourself. Homicide, kill another. So, the infant variation. I've heard having twins was considered bad luck, too. But why bring this up all now?
小粋な会話でご主人様を楽しませるのも従者のたしなみです。
It was interesting, admittedly. I've gone through my share of health education. Apparently I haven't. Though we've never gone into detail on twins. It's kind of late to ask, but you have no reason to entertain me or listen to my orders, do you?
それはそうですが、今はまだしもこの様子だと、あなたは人のままでもすぐに僕より強くなってしまいそうですし、ここは素直に媚びを売っておこうかと。
In that case, keep following orders.
御意。
Guys, I've got a very bad feeling. With that, I cut the call and stand up from my seat. I find myself looking up toward the cross. My beliefs aside, I still hold respect and reverence for God. And yet, have I changed? Am I going to change? One cannot live a life free from all evils. At times, they will fall to temptation. But there is no sin the Father will not forgive. On a personal level, however, most people do believe some sins are unforgivable. That's called morals and ethics. If I or the people I love are to change, then I pray that it is a change for the best. Yeah, this conversation really got me thinking on the idea of Sayo's existence. And I brought this up again, you know, the idea that she may not actually be Ritsu's twin here. And that's pretty scary because then what is she? Is she really just a random person that, you know, just so happened to be with the same type of power as Ritsu, with a connection to the devil, and was led here? I really wonder, you know? And now that we're learning a little bit more about these, you know, devilish abilities or these demon-like abilities, it does make you wonder, or at least it makes me wonder. But we're gonna wrap it up here. It's we'll say it's on time. You know, I try to shoot for 40-minute videos, but I've been going over on purpose. But whatever, I just don't have the time. We'll wrap it up there. We'll get right back to it though, because I want to see what's going on here. We've got some answers to seek out. So thank you all for tuning in. Hope you all enjoyed. If you did, be sure to leave a like, subscribe, all that fancy jazz, and I will see you guys next time. Take it easy.